I am going to do the awkward work of switching over to share screen so we can actually see my presentation.
When it comes to social inequality, people's lives and the organization of power in society are better understood as being shaped not by one axis of division, whether it's race, gender, class, sexuality, but many axes working together and influencing each other, and how intersectionality is a tool that helps us solve problems, right?
That was really important that you sort of label your positionality as resistance, because I think that is exactly what we do as scholars and as women scholars in the academy, since most of you are in that identity.
To live with you is that you have to see yourself as leaders in the field, cutting through new territories. And many of the questions that I have seen so far in this training and in your bios are exactly that. So just would like to emphasize that piece because it's essential for you to embrace that identity.
Most of us work with some type of theory or framework that we're using in our research. So you may be going from this end, and then you're going to review and revise your codes in the context of your data.
And you're going to want to ask yourself, what kind of conversation do I want to be a part of? What conversation academically do I care to be a part of? Now, I know I was never told this by an advisor. I remember very distinctly sitting outside of the chair's office in my graduate program, and I heard him, a white man, advising another white man about thinking about developing his dissertation work. And he specifically said, he's like, what you need to do is figure out what conversations you want to join. And I wrote it down.
So I'm going back to these questions. What is our role in history as social scientists, and how do we know we're asking the right research questions? So yesterday we started to have that. Now I want us to remove a little bit from the content, and I want us to think about process.
In the business world, if we were talking about just a one-page resume, they might give it 10 seconds. And that's as quick as these things go, right? In the academic world, I do believe they give it more than the 10 seconds. I think they give it the whole 5 minutes, right? That's kind of where, that's as much time as you have to grab their attention, right?
What do you do with your data? Basically, there's 3 areas. You describe, you analyze, and you interpret.
But thinking about I never would have thought when I was in graduate school that I would be reading Queer of Color scholarship by Black gay men and saying, this is absolutely the conversation that I needed to hear for my work with Latina youth, right? So
this is interesting. At the time, probably about a year ago, maybe 2 years ago, when they had the Davos convention and people started saying, well, because of Me Too, men, I should say, I don't feel comfortable mentoring women. And of course I was like, this is ridiculous. That is not how mentorship works. If you have concerns about being close to somebody who's not the same gender as you, that would suggest that you have predatory behaviors,
Students will have 1 or 2 or maybe 3 or 4 publications. They will mostly count the ones that you accomplished during that tenure clock. Of course, the other stuff counts, but they want to see how productive have you been during that time. And as I mentioned,
lighting, is everything. So I am currently, right, I am standing in my office. I have 2 windows in front of me. I have turned off the lighting in my office. Because the lighting is better when it's natural light, right? Now I've turned on lights and my face is a little bit, it's not as clear, it's not as ideal. And so, you know, you want to think about these things. I did not go and purchase